Hey guys, welcome back to another video of Legend of Runeterra. This time we are continuing the series of ranking every champion based on region. We are in Yordle City right now, and we are going to start with Fizz. Fizz is a mana cost unit. He has the ability that when you play a spell this round, stop all enemy spells and skills targeting him and give him elusive for this round. Once you play 6+ spells, Fizz will evolve, and now when you play a spell, he still have the same effect, and when he strike the Nexus, he can create Shum the Water in hand. This card will allow is a 4 mana cost slow spell that grant an enemy vulnerable, so the enemy can challenge this unit, forcing it to block, and summon Longtooth. Longtooth is a 5 damage unit, 2 HP and overwhelm. So excess damage ID to my blocker is dealt to the enemy Nexus. So Fizz is basically perfect, very cheap. He has inborn counter, good protection, access to elusive. There is no issue on having Fizz as long as you have a few spells in hand, and that is basically every deck. Okay, let's go to Cannon. When summoned, Cannon is 1 mana cost with quick attack. When summoned, he will create a Mark of the Storm in hand. Mark of the Storm is 0 mana cost fast spell that has fleeting effect, so at the end of the round it is discarded if not used. It will grant an enemy Mark of the Storm. If they already have it, remove the mark to stun and deal 2 to them instead. Once you summon the same ally 5 different times, now when he attack, he create Mark of the Storm in hand. So Cannon is okay. In most cases you lose nothing for having him in your hand. Yes, to optimize the effect, it's better to have a deck, especially with him, that you can spam multiple. Sorry, it's not okay, it's depend on deck. You need a deck that you can summon 5 of the same ally for him to be good, or else he's okay. He's not bad, it's don't bother. It's a waste of opportunity. Okay, now we have Teemo, my main basically. Teemo is a 1 mana cost unit with elusive, so it can only be blocked by an elusive unit. When he strikes the Nexus, he plant 5 poison buff cap that can stick to the enemy cards, and if he pick that card, he can deal 1 to the enemy Nexus for each one stuck to the card. Once you planted 15 poison buff cap, he will evolve, and now he can double the poison in the enemy deck. So he is my main, but for me he depends on deck. On his own, in most cases you can use him to good effect if the enemy doesn't have a way to kill him directly. With 2 HP, that is basically every time. So it's really hard to justify using Teemo on his own. Now we go to Nora. 2 mana cost, elusive unit. When she strikes the Nexus, she plant Mysterious Portal in the top 4 cards of your deck. Once you pick a card that has the Mysterious Portal attached to her, you will summon a random 2 or 3 cost follower. If the board is full, so you cannot summon your card, create a 0 cost fleeting copy in hand instead. So at the end of the round it will disappear, and this will allow you to either attack, get rid of some cards and then summon it, or choose if you like it or not. Once you summon 6+ created ally, Now she will evolve and Mysterious Portal will summon 4, 5, 6 or even 7 cost follower instead. So if she can evolve and you have some Mysterious Portals, she can be quite busted. And that's why for me she is okay. She have the same issue as Teemo, but with 3 HP it's harder to kill her with some spells, unless somebody really wants to kill her. And as long as you strike the Nexus once or twice, that is more value than the card itself. So that's why I put her as okay. Next we have Lulu. Lulu is a 3 mana cost unit that has the support effect. So the card on her right when she attacks grow its power to 4 attack and 4 defense this round. Once you have supported 3 allies, supported allies 3 times, so not only by Lulu, by any card on your deck. Now at the start of the round she can create help picks which grant an ally barrier or an enemy vulnerable this round. And when the supported ally is 5 attack, 5 HP instead of only 4. Honestly for me, Lulu is don't bother. Since when she is supporting ally, she doesn't improve her own stat. So if you put a strong-ish unit against her, so if you put a strong-ish unit against her, she will die directly and it will not give any benefit. And even if you have benefit, it will only give you ally 5 attack and 5 defense for 1 round. So really don't like her. Now we have Tristana, 3 mana unit with quick attack. So while attacking, she strikes before her blocker. If she managed to kill him, she will not take damage. She has impact. When this strike while attacking, it deal 1 to the enemy nexus and it can stack. So with Tristana, she has +1 damage for each multi-region ally you have summoned this game. When you summon a multi-region ally, give it +1. So if you summon Tristana and you summon another multi-region ally, that ally will get +1 damage. If you summoned 5 plus multiple region allies, she will evolve, and now not only would she get +1 damage, it will, when you summon a multi-region ally, she and that ally will get +1 damage and impact. So we can stack this quite a lot. Multi-region allies are regions that have are allies that have 2 regions, like for example Lulu or Yumi. For me, Tristana depends entirely on her deck. With a right deck, you can reach up to 5, I think, impact. So you can, every time she attacks, she deals 5 damage to the enemy nexus, ignoring her own damage. But if you don't have multiple region allies, she is useless. 1 damage with quick attack and 4 HP is nothing to write home about. Next we have Ziggs, 3 mana cost unit, that when he attacks, he deals 1 damage to his blocker before he even starts the attack, and the enemy nexus. Once you destroy 4 or plus landmarks, he evolves, and now when he attacks, he deals 2 damage to his blocker and the enemy nexus, and when you destroy an allied landmark, he deals 2 to the enemy nexus. So this is spammable, and that's why he depends on his deck. Mostly I prefer to play him with Zerath, but that's my take on him. You need a lot of landmarks for him to work around. Next we have Nar, 4 mana cost unit with quick attack. So while attacking, he strikes before his blocker. Every time he strikes, he creates a pokey stick in hand. If you have one, reduce its cost by 2. Poke Stick is a 2 mana cost fast spell that deal 1 to anything, then draw 1. Once you damage the enemy Nexus this round, at the end of the round he will evolve. He will gain Overwhelm, so excess damage he deal to his blocker is dealt to the enemy Nexus. When he level up, he grants the strongest enemy vulnerable. If it already have vulnerable, it go to the second strongest. At the end of the round, if I have seen you start the round with the attack token, he transforms back into Nar. But if in that round you damage the enemy Nexus, he stay as Mega Nar. So for me, Nar is okay. He has quite a lot of benefit. If only he's not 4 mana, he would have been perfect. But for now, for 4 mana, it's really not that great. But on his own, he can deal a lot of damage, get spells, get a lot of benefit from it. That's why I am putting him on okay, because you can put him on any deck and you will be okay with it. Next we have Rumble. Rumble is 4 mana cost unit. To play him, you need to discard up to 3 cards to grant ally Rumbles everywhere impact in the first card that you discarded, a quick attack for the second, and spell sheet for the third. If you don't have any card, you will not have any keywords basically in hand. I have seen once he has seen Mecha Gyarados ally deal 12 plus damage. Seen mean he needs to be on the field when this occurs. He will evolve, get the keywords, and now when you deal damage to the enemy Nexus, he create random Mecha Gyarados in hand. If you already have one, grant all Mecha Gyarados in hand +1 attack and defense, reduce their cost by 1. So you know how this will go. He depends on deck. You need a lot of Mecha Gyarados for him to actually be viable. Okay. Now we are going to Veigar. With Poppy. With Poppy, she's a 4 mana cost unit that when she attacks, she grants all allies with equal or less power than her that are on the field +1 attack and defense. Once she attacks with allies 3 times, she will evolve, gain impact keyword. So when she strike while attacking, she deal 1 to the enemy Nexus. This keyword can stack. And when she attacks with allies equal or less power than her, gain +2 attack and defense and impact. This increase is permanent. So if you attack twice, you get 4 attack, defense, and impact, double impact. And she depends on deck. Poppy is quite easy to kill early on, and other units that has less power than her are hard to stack, which is what prevented her from being okay. Next we have Veigar, 4 mana cost unit. When summoned, he will create darkness in hand if you don't have one. So if you already have one, he will not create one. At the start of the round, he will give darkness everywhere, hand, field or deck, 1 extra damage. He needs 12 plus damage to deal 12 plus damage with darkness this game to evolve. Now when the round starts, he will also get darkness in hand and still get dark every start round. He gets all darkness 1 extra damage, and you can use the darkness to target anything including the Nexus. So Veigar depends on deck, since to evolve him you need to deal 12 damage with darkness and he can create only 1. So you need to summon it and spend and wait 12 rounds for him to be any good. So not 12, sorry, 10, since darkness is a 3 mana cost slow spell that deal 2 to an enemy. So you need 10 rounds to reach 12 for him to evolve and actually be good, which is not worth it on his own, but with the right deck he can be quite viable. Last one is Heimerdinger, 5 mana cost unit. When you play a spell, he creates a fleeting turret in hand with depend on the cost of the spell that you played. It costs 0 this round. The turrets can go from 0 mana all the way to 8. Each one has its benefit and its inconvenience. 0 mana is have challenger but no damage. 1 mana, it's basically sacrifice. 2 mana, 2 damage, 1 HP and tough. 3 mana, he get fearsome, 3 damage. 4 damage, he get 4 damage overwhelm. 5 mana, 5 damage quick attack. 6 mana, 6 damage elusive. 7 mana, 7 damage barrier. 8 mana, 8 HP, and for the first time we have 8 health. So based on that, once you summon 12 plus power of tech allies, when you play a spell, he can still create turret with the same concept, but he can grant it +1 attack and defense. So instead of having 0 damage, now it have 1 for 0 spell, as an example. And this one is a bit hard. To maximize his effect, you need to have a deck with quite a few spells, but you don't need that many spells for him to show his effect. You need a few very powerful spells and you are good to go. So for me, Heimerdinger is okay. So far, this is the biggest region that we did. Hope you like the video. If you do, please share, subscribe, hit the notification button, and put on the comment what is your take on this region. See you next time. Bye.